It's really hard when you don't have anyone helping you. Oh, there we go. In this video, I'm going to be going over an entire tutorial on how to set up your Shopify store from start to finish. What are we covering? We're going to be covering how to set up collections, how to set up products, how to set up your actual Shopify website, picking your theme, setting up your theme, editing your theme, aka your front end of your website, getting your domain integrated with your Shopify store. We are going to be talking about shipping profiles, setting up your shipping. We're going to be talking about setting up your taxes. And we're also going to be talking about, shoot, let me check my notes. Okay, let's see what the notes say. Your payment processors, so you can collect money from your customers. It's a very full in-depth tutorial, but I'm gonna try to leave no stone unturned so you come out the other side fully understanding how the Shopify software works so you can best optimize your business for your specific use case. So yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back, guys. My name is Hannah Gardner. If you're new to the channel, I talk about building brands mainly on Shopify and Etsy, but a lot of entrepreneurship stuff as well. So if that is what you're interested in, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I do just want to preference this video that it's not sponsored by Shopify. I just use Shopify for all of my brands and I love Shopify. But if you do want to go ahead and support the channel because you got some value, hopefully you got a lot of value out of this video, and click the link in my description and sign up for Shopify free trial. This helps support my channel because if you do end up going through and paying for Shopify, then I do get a small commission from Shopify. Let me hop into my computer screen and we are going to get into the first part of this, which is setting up your Shopify account. All right, guys, now that you have clicked the link in my description, we are going to start your free trial here. It's going to ask you some onboarding questions and it's just going to be pretty intuitive. You're going to answer it out per your use case. Ready to get started for a month? Please tell us about yourself. I'm just starting, or whatever the case is, and you're just going to fill this out. Now, once you fill that out, answer the questions out the best that you can, it's going to bring you to a page like this. And this is a really good example account that we're going to work off of today. So on the sidebar here, you're going to see home, orders, products, customers, finances, analytics, marketing, and discounts. You're also going to see down here a settings tab. So the tabs that we're going to be working in today that are really going to help you set your account up for the first time, we're going to be looking at the products tab. We're going to be looking at the settings tab, and we're also going to look at the sales channel here, and we're going to go into the sales channel. We're going to click the online store and we're going to build out your website. So we're really going to be working in settings, our online store, sales channel, and a sales channel basically is any place where you are processing the transaction. So under sales channel, you could have other sales channels like your Instagram account, right? Because now technically you can take sales on Instagram, or your Facebook account. So those are considered a sales channel in a sense, but we don't need to even talk about that today. I'm just trying to give you some insight, right? So the first thing that we're going to do that I want to look at first is we want to set up some collections. So we're going to set up a collection for the first time. And when you click collection, we're going to go create a collection. Now inside the collection, you're going to have products. So if you're selling baby clothes, right? Or if you're selling baby accessories, right? Maybe onesie is a collection. Maybe baby shoes is another collection, right? We want to sort our products accordingly. Now, even if you are launching your store for the first time and you only are selling a few items, you still want to set up your collection, because if you do launch future collections in the future, or if you're planning to, then things are just already organized from the get-go. So what you're going to do when you set up a collection, you're going to give it a title. You are going to choose to have your products, when you set up your products, to be automatically put inside this collection or manually put inside the collection. Manually means that you have to add them manually. Automated means you can set up conditions where when you make the product listing, it goes in automatically based off a product tag, based off a price point, the product type, the product title. Normally, if you're going to do the automated, you're going to tag your product and you're going to let it go in automatically based off the tagging, which I'm going to explain more of that in a second, and then an image as well. So let me just show you an example of a collection. So this is an India collection so India pillows is the example here that's making up this collection. And essentially this is an automatic collection where if the product tag is equal to the word India, then they're automatically going to auto-populate inside of this collection. Now in the collection, you can sort your products manually by the best selling, by the newest, by the oldest. I like to sort mine manually. So when it's manual, I can drag and drop. And what that actually means here is when I come to my website and I go to the India cover collection, that means that I can choose how I want to sort which products shows up first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So if I come back over here and I move, one above the other, and this automatically saves, and then I come back to my website here, it's gonna update it in real time, and it's gonna put this one in front of this one. So now this one's first. So I want you to go ahead, come to collections again, create a collection, and then choose how you're going to put your products in your collection. So you can do it where there's no conditions and it's just you do it manually, or you can do it by tagging products. So now when we come into the products page here, these are all the products that I have. Some are active and some are in draft. And when they're in draft, that means that they're not actually showing up on the front end of the website. So obviously there's a bunch of products here, but if you were going to do this for the first time, you would have no products and you would come up here and you would click add product. So if I wanted to launch a new product in that India collection that I just made, I would put, I don't even know, the leaf pillow. I don't know, I'm just making something up, right? I'm going to want to give it a description here. I'm going to want to make sure that it's set to active. And right here, you can either add it to the collection like this, or you can come here and you can tag the word India, since we have that parameter set, and now it's going to get added to the collection. Or I can come in here and I can just find the collection and it will put it in the collection. Other key things here when you're setting up a product, you want to give it a price, you want to give it a cost. Sometimes in e-commerce, this is considered COG. It means cost of goods sold. It's like an accounting term. So ideally, you're setting all of this stuff up and putting in all these parameters for your products, meaning your cost, your title, your description, your photos. You just come in here and you can add a photo and upload your photo. You're doing this all before and not half asking it, because once you start getting a lot of SKUs and a lot of products, it gets really, really overwhelming to remember what to go back and fix later on. So make sure you're really filling these out properly. SKUs, if you're giving your product SKUs, tracking quantity, or if you have unlimited stock, you can continue selling when out of stock. If not, you want to track your quantity and you want to add your quantity of how many you have in stock. You can come down here and give your items a weight. If you're going to give it a weight, you are going to want to give it the total weight. So if you're charging for shipping based off of weight, which a lot of people do, unless you're offering free shipping, and even if you are offering free shipping, you should put the weight there of the total weight after the item's packaged, because when you go to set up your shipping and you connect a shipping profile to this, or even just going to buy the label, you want it to purchase the label. You don't want to be overspending on your shipping. So you want to make sure that you put the exact weight of the packaged item here, so it can calculate the proper shipping price for you when you go to buy labels from inside of Shopify. You're going to select your country. And then if this product has variations, then you can start making variations down here. So if I was selling a pillow that has different sizes, for instance, let's see, if it's 16 inches, then you have an 18 inch, and then you have a 20-inch pillow, right? These are called variations. When I hit done, now I have variations that drop down here, and each variation can have its own price, can have its own quantity, and it can have its own SKU. I don't really have barcodes, so I don't even look at this. And then I would go ahead and just save it as active. Now, obviously, this is not a real product. I gave it a a picture. I gave it a price of 0, but it is active. So now, because it's in the collection, India, 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 it should show up on my website now. And there it is. Now, obviously, I don't want it to show up, so I'm going to put it back into a draft and we're going to save it. So now it's actually going to get removed from the website we have here. And now it's gone. So this is an example. I like to do this first because especially if you're new, it can get a little bit confusing when you start moving into the theme section and you start building out your theme and you have nothing to show up on your website. So it's good to put in a few products here before you start building out the front end of your website, just so you can get a gist of what you're looking at when you start building your website. So see how the products are going to be displayed, what type of shape of images you like, the features that are important to you. So it's important to have like something to work off of. So that's why I like to do this very, very first, but it's very, very simple. And what I do recommend is as you start creating products, so for instance, we just created that draft product. That was actually nothing but leaf pillow. Say you wanted to launch another item that had similar variants, similar prices, maybe even similar quantities, and maybe it's going to be in the same collection. Instead of going back to products and adding a new product and having to reset all of that up, what I recommend that you do to make your life easier is come back to the existing product that you made. Instead of remaking this all over again, like if I was going to sell another pillow but just a different color, where maybe all I need to change is the SKU and the quantity and maybe the description. Instead of redoing the whole thing again, I would just come up here and hit duplicate, and then I would change the title since the new item is going to have a new title. And if I do need to copy the images over, or maybe some of the images, I would highlight the images. If you don't need the image, then you don't need it. And then you could set it as active or draft, probably draft, so you can edit it before it goes live. So I would recommend you duplicating products first before actually trying to just remake the same product over and over again. Another quick hack that should not get overlooked, when you do have a lot of products here and say you need to bulk edit something at one time, don't disregard these filters, because what the beautiful thing about this is, if you want to come up here and say you want to look at that India collection, right? And I need to bulk edit something with all these listings. What you can do is come up here and you can hit edit products, and it's going to bring it up to a sheet view. And you can now bulk edit prices, you can bulk edit SKUs, and you can see this columns button here. You can bulk edit tags, and essentially it's just a lot easier to do things in bulk if you have to. And basically, if I wanted to change this price, right, it's now $40, I'd highlight it, Control C this, drag it down, Control V, and now I can bulk edit prices all at once. Now, obviously, I don't want to save that because I don't actually want to change my price, but just to give you an example of how you can bulk edit things, because if you do start having a lot of products, it can get really tedious when it comes to going back into each listing and changing stuff. So I want you to go ahead and do that, add some products, set up your collection, fill out the parameters for your products, and then we're going to move into the next section of actually building out the front end of a Shopify store. Now we're going to go into building out the front end of your Shopify store. Now that we've got some collections, maybe we've got some products in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to sales channel. We're going to go to online store. Now, before we go and pick the theme, what I want us to do is come here to navigation. Now, the navigation is in control of two things mainly: setting up the main menu here, but also the footer menu here. So you need to go in there and direct, all these buttons to something. So you're going to do that inside of here. So inside of menus, you can add as many menus as you want, and you can choose what menus actually show, but you're probably only going to need a main menu and a footer menu. So let's look at my main menu here. So I have a main menu option for home, for pillow covers, and underneath the button pillow covers drops down all of the different collections of the types of pillows that are in this website. We have a decor collection where it's not even pillows, it's wall decor. We have our reviews, and then we have an about us or who are we page. Now, to set this up, all we do is go here and hit add menu. give it a name, and then you're going to direct it to either a collection, a specific product, a certain page, etc., etc. So as you can see here on our published theme, we have pillow covers. When I clicked India, it goes to the India collection. When I hit decor, it takes you to the decor collection. When I go to who are we, it takes us to a page. It doesn't actually take us to a collection. And the reason being here is because underneath the online store and sales channel, you can also have the option to set up pages. So not just collection pages, but just pages in general, right? Because when you go to the about us or who are we, this isn't a collection, this is a page. And this page is a who are we. So to add a page is you just click add page, you give it a name, and you put your content in there. You can also do a contact us page. A contact us page is already optimized, right? You can come here and put contact. So now this page is optimized for a contact page. So then when I actually go to the contact page, it looks like a contact page where they can send us an email with their name, phone number, and their message, right? So that's really important that you do that here first, so it makes sense when you actually go to start building your theme, how the people are going to navigate your page. Now, the next thing that I want to cover is free themes versus paid themes. So this is an example of what a free theme looks like. And, a free theme can get you pretty far, but personally, I can tell when someone's using a free theme versus a paid theme because it just looks a lot more amateur. There's not a lot of customizations that you can make. It's just pretty straightforward, a lot boxier and not as versatile as, say, a professional or a paid theme. So I use the Symmetry theme by Clean Canvas. The link for this theme is in my description. I've messed with a lot of themes on Shopify, and this has been by far my favorite theme. There's so much versatility and just so many unique features to this theme that you can add that obviously free themes don't offer, but also just other paid themes that this is just for what you're paying. You're not paying for a custom coder to build you a website, but also you're not paying for the same amount for a theme that gives you half the features. This actually gives you a lot of really cool features. So this is an example of what the paid theme looks like. And I just absolutely love this. I like how it takes over the whole page. I like how the images are big, like the product images are actually really big. I like how you have the interaction with the versatility and the images have how they change. The pages themselves actually have a lot more customization options, where on the free themes you can't really do much. You really are limited to just customizing it based off of the box within setting up the page. So I can actually add different sections in here. We can add banners in here. This theme actually offers a pop-up if I wanted a pop-up. If I enable a pop-up, it looks like this, where you can collect people's emails, which is really big because a lot of times you have to pay for an app to do this for you. So I really, really, really like that. But overall, let's just talk about if you're setting up your theme for the first time. Let's just start from the home page. You're going to want to start page by page, just looking at all the pages that you're going to have and just slowly tweaking them to how you want it to look. So it's very, very intuitive, especially in Shopify and this theme. Essentially, a page is divided by sections. So you can see this section highlights it. This section is right here, a featured collection. It's very intuitive. You click on it and it's going to highlight what you're going to edit, change, and review, right? And so underneath sections, you have blocks. So if I go to my slideshow section here and I click on slide, right? This obviously is a one slideshow section. I could add another slide if I wanted with more images. And essentially every time you click on a section, you're going to be able to edit and customize it on the right side. So you can click on the section from the left side, and then to customize it and edit it, you do that on the right side. So I can, change the height of this if I want. I could change the image that I want. I can adapt it to the first image. I can make it a full screen, which I think I had it adapt to the first image, so it wasn't super big. It really shines is when you actually start getting to the nitty-gritty of what you're actually able to edit. It's all of these little details on this right-hand side, like how much can you change the size of the text? Can you make it different on mobile versus desktop? All of those things are really, really important, especially when you want one little thing changed and like the theme doesn't allow it. This theme actually allows like the majority of pretty much everything that I want. When I click on the collection list down here, you can input, change things, change them as you want. You can change the ordering. It's very easy, drag and drop of the ordering. Same thing with the sections. So if I wanted to take this video here and I wanted to put it above my reviews, I could put it above it. You just drag and drop. Now, another really cool thing of how this really shines, you can do add section here. And as you can see, it will show what does this theme integrate with. So one big theme that I talk about all the time on my channel, and I actually go deeper into apps and stuff like that in my Shopify course, which you guys can, the free course, by the way, that you can get below this video in the description, that goes into like kind of like the next sophomore year of Shopify. This is really like freshman year, I guess you could say. So this is Luke's. This is my review software. Reviews are super, super important to have on your website. So it integrates, this theme actually integrates with Luke's and how it can present all the features of Luke's like that, just like right here, or also right here. When you actually click on the product, you can see the reviews show here, and it will show the reviews at the bottom. Very, very cool stuff. I can actually have a whole review dedicated page. So this wouldn't be possible if the theme didn't integrate with Luke's, and they do. So really, really cool stuff. Well, let me just go back to the home page here and go over some more sections. So if you want to add more sections or more parts to this page, you would just come through here and basically shop around and see what you want to add to your website. So let's see what this other options we got here. We can do store messages. What's that? Oh, store messages, message. Oh, just adding important information. All right, well, I don't really have any store messages, so if I wanted to delete it, just remove section. Let's add another section and see what other things they got here. Oh, FAQ header. Oh, that's cool. So you can add some FAQs, a search FAQ. That's really cool. Yeah, free themes don't offer this many things. Let's see what else we have. A logo list. Oh, that's cool. So say you have been published on Forbes or something, right? You could be put here as seen on, and then you could go ahead and add a logo, add the image of the logo. Obviously, I'm not seen on my own website, but that's becoming very, very common on websites. Just a lot of really cool stuff. So I encourage you to come through here and just shop around and see what sections that you want to add. Now, another really cool thing that I liked about this is the versatility on the collection page. So if I come to a collection, we'll come back to our India collection here, see what we can do. So as you can see, when I click on the collection, there's all these different ways that I can filter my products here. Which one, you can disable filtering if you didn't want to filter. Right now it's filtering it by price. Let's filter column, let's see. Yeah, so you can make it automatically collapse so it doesn't even show unless they click on it. Overall, like I said, you're just going to want to go through each page and look on the left and then customize on the right. Really, really intuitive, probably the most intuitive in comparison to any other theme builder or any type of website hosting platform. So now that we get the gist of how to set up the front end of your store, now we're going to hop into the back end. So what is that? The back end is setting up your shipping profiles, setting up domains, setting up your taxes if you have to collect sales tax, and also your payment processors. Now we're going to hop into some of the back end features of your store, because obviously you need to have things like shipping set up, you need to be able to collect payments, etc., etc. So when we go to settings, so if you didn't see that, we go settings, we're going to go to payments. Now obviously mine is already set up, and you're going to need to connect this to your bank account, and you're also going to need to tell Shopify how you want to collect payments. So the two most commonly ways that people collect payments is through Shopify Payments, which is commonly known as Stripe. Shopify Payments is managed through Stripe. So if I come in here and hit manage, you can choose the types of credit cards you want to accept. Ideally, you want to accept everything. The rates, I think, are about 2.9% plus 0.25 cents per transaction, or 30 cents per transaction. You can't get around it. It doesn't matter what you try to do. For the most part, you're paying about 3% on every purchase just for your merchant fee. So you're going to want to go and set that up. Mine has already been set up, but it's going to ask you to complete setup, and you I would recommend for you to accept Shopify Payments. The only other payment that I accept is for PayPal. So they have the option to check out with Shopify Payments or PayPal. I think it prompts them to check out with PayPal if they're already logged into their PayPal account on their phone or on their desktop. So you're going to want to connect it to PayPal as well. When you get paid, obviously, if you're collecting money through PayPal, you're going to need to deposit the money to your bank account from PayPal if people are checking out through PayPal. So Shopify is going to make the deposit for you on behalf of Shopify Payments. But if the money is being processed through PayPal, you have to go into PayPal and manually give yourself that deposit or set it up for automatic deposits. So pretty intuitive on this end of things. Now, some other things that you need to set up is your shipping. So setting up a shipping profile. Now you can set this up where you offer free shipping. I think in my website, we're offering free shipping over a certain amount of spend. So if they spend over $75, I think they're getting free shipping. So there's a lot of ways that you can set up shipping. I personally am using USPS. Obviously, some people want to use FedEx. Sometimes people want to use other shipping carriers or other apps that provide shipping solutions. I just use Shopify. I just use this. I just set it up in Shopify. When I need to buy a label, when I get an order, I buy it through Shopify. So how to set this up: when you hit manage here or create a new profile. So if I wanted to create a new profile here, I can give it a name. I can add some products. I can attach all of my products to this. I'm going to have the shipping from address here. And then I'm going to essentially save it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to save it because I already have one. So in here, you will see the shipping profile that I've already set up. It's standard USA shipping. I have my from address, and inside of this profile here, I can put some more specifics. So in the United States, if I wanted to edit this rate here, basically what it's saying is that standard free shipping is 3 to 4 business days. And the price is $0 if the minimum price is $75. So just to recap here, that was a shipping profile. If I wanted to create a new one, that's where I'd do it, but I already have one here. So this is the settings that this shipping profile is on. All of the products are added in here. Now this is the from address. Now I edit it down here. So it is basically saying add rate. So if I edit the rate here, it is basically saying that if they spend $75, the price is $0. So it is based on the order price. Now for the rest of carrier, this is your rates. If I click on carrier and app rates, it's basically saying it's calculated rates. So if I edit this rate here, what it's saying is I'm shipping USPS discounted rates from Shopify. And out of USPS, what they offer, I'm offering first class package, priority, and priority mail express. There's a $0 handling fee, but essentially what it's saying is that it's a calculated rate here. So if I wanted to reset this up, I would come here, set up your own rates, use carrier or app to calculate rates. So I would hit that. I'm going to offer, because there's already USPS here, I can't choose it. Say I wanted UPS, I can choose which way that I want to do, UPS ground, and then it's going to calculate. This is a calculated rate because it's going to base this rate based off the weight that I give the item when I set up the product. So hopefully I'm not confusing you. Hopefully this makes sense. But essentially you're setting up a shipping profile and then you're editing the shipping profile down here below it, down below where you added the products. You're going to set up a rate. If you want to offer all free shipping, then all you would just do is your rates, and you would add your rate. You would set up your own rate. You would set the time, and you would say your price. And if there was any conditions, if there's no conditions, you just offer free shipping, you would just keep it at $0 for all of your products, right? But this is not the case for me. I have a $75 and up where it is free, but then I have carrier and app rate set up where I'm offering these 3 services, and it's going to calculate the rate for me based off the weight of the item, and the weight of the item is inside of the product listing that I showed you earlier. Now, if it's an international, because this is only for domestic mail, what I have here is USPS discounted rates from Shopify, and it's calculated if they're international for the rest of the world, and then I edit the rate. But what I'm offering is first class package international or priority mail express international, and it's going to calculate the rate for the rest of the world. And now we're going to save it. I'm going to make sure your addresses are in here. I don't have local pickup. I don't have basically any of that, but that's really all I do when it comes to my shipping personally. If you have more specific use case, I would recommend you just come in here and mess with it until it makes sense for your products. Now, the next thing that I want to explain is taxes and duties. I am not an accountant. I am not a CPA, but I will say in the United States, you are technically supposed to pay sales tax when there's a certain transaction inside of your state. So I'm located in Florida. If someone purchases from me in California, technically I don't owe nexus to California since the transaction happened in California and the business is in Florida. Technically, I only need to collect and remit sales tax to the state of Florida for transactions that happen in Florida, meaning my customer's address is in Florida. So I have Florida set up here. If you need to add a state here, essentially you can come in here and add in your state. You're going to add your sales tax ID, and you can set up the amount of taxes that you need to collect for that state. So I have it here. I believe I am already collecting it, or it looks like this is not even being collected. First, you need to register with a... So this is actually good to know. This brand isn't really active anyway, but as it looks like this is actually not set up in my account. So manage my tax liability based on your Shopify store data. You may need to start collecting taxes. I don't know if they changed this because I definitely set this up and I put a 7% tax on all transactions in Florida, but looks like it needs me to update it. So now I would put in my sales tax ID number, and I guess it's going to automatically start collecting taxes in Florida for me because it does say action required. So anyway, this is where you would do that for your business. And the last thing that's really important to make sure that your website works is you would need to go ahead and set up your domain name. So this example is urbantruths.com. I bought this. I think I bought it from inside Shopify. So the easiest way to do this is to buy your domain in Shopify. So just buy the domain. In the case that you bought it already from somewhere like GoDaddy or some other domain host, you would go through the process of connect existing domain here, and you would go through that process of connecting it here and following those steps to connect your domain. And if you are confused at any point, they're going to have instructions for you because different domain hosts have different steps depending on where you bought it from. Like Namecilio is different from GoDaddy, so on and so forth. And the backends of those domain hosts are different. But again, if you haven't already bought it, the easiest way to buy it is through Shopify, because then it's just going to bill you through your Shopify account and, just buy it through here. But if not, no worries, just connect your existing domain and follow the steps. I guess one other thing that we can mention is your policy pages here. So you can actually go ahead, set up a refund policy, a privacy policy, and terms of service policy, shipping policy. A lot of these, what I did to find my policies is I just looked up examples of policies and ahead and basically copied them, but then just read over them and tweak them according to my use case for my store, because you are going to want to have policy pages. And after you set up those policy pages, again, you're going to find them in your pages. You're going to want to add them in your pages, or you're going to want to actually add them in your navigation, in your footer menu, and have your terms of service, privacy policy, shipping policy to be displayed somewhere. Because when you start running ads, I believe on Google and TikTok and maybe in Facebook and Instagram, they are going to check that on your website to make sure you're a legitimate store, that you have policies set up. So you're going to want to make sure that you do have those set up as well. If you have made it to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you do feel like you're adding value, or if you have any questions, please leave some comments or just some love. If you want to give some love to the channel, comment all that in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel. And also any of the assets or tools that I talked about today, remember that all of those links are in my description. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.